The Journey of Styles by Damien Renwick. Limestone Skirt. White light beamed into his eyes. The sound of the sea was roaring in his ears. The tide was coming in. The sun was hot. He took a moment to recollect the dream. As he looked up in the sky, a large bird hovered above, enjoying the warm air. In that moment, he was free. He blinked. He wondered if he would ever work out the meaning of his life. For now, he was alone, and he hoped to change that. With a sad face, he stood up and decided to get to a communication point. There wasn't one close enough. It was a day's walk if he cut across land. He would have to sleep when he got there. The obelisk was definitely big enough to work. Wherever Nip Nip was, he would hear him. Everyone would hear him, but he had no other choice. He was supposed to follow the dreaming. He knew that from as much as he could remember, life was good. He had a lot to be thankful for. He would stay close to the coast. He was hopeful to see the people from the paintings, the humans, or foam as they were also known. As the foam is what is carried across the ocean, riding the wave. He clambered around the red sandstone, being careful not to disturb the blue-tongued lizards lying like a carpet ceremoniously between the rocks. The silent ushers of the entrance of the cave were left undisturbed for the most part. The lizards admired Styles as he gracefully climbed to the top of the mighty entrance. He tried to keep eye contact the best he could with the little nippers, for it was better to look the devil in the eye than to let him do something behind your back. As he rose to 30 meters up, his hands grasped onto soft, squelching moss and slugs. A good omen, he thought to himself as he stood up on top of the mighty cave entrance. He paused for a moment, taking in deep breaths, then looked up, revealing the plain ahead of him. The acacia mixed with gold had revitalized him, clicking his left heel to his right toe, bouncing forward until his rhythm was ready. He burst into a full-on sprint. He thought about doing a dance for the slug, but it would never be able to do the same. The plane out in front of him dipped, and as he went further inland, he came to a dry bed where a solemn cactus grew. He knew the cactus well and stopped in front of it. Kneeling to the ground, he took a stick, scraping back the sandy landscape, and as he did, he looked again at the cactus. The magnificent and solemn peak above what he could only describe as the Rainbow Road. A smile crept onto his face. He looked back at the ground. The soil was damp beneath the sand. He picked the straw from the ground nearby. He blew through it and poked it into the hole water popped through. He put his lips to the floor and sucked 2 mouthfuls of the water. The base crystals in the cave below him, the nutrients from the water would be immense. He then brushed the ground with his right hand, making a congruous shape in the sand, leaving the straw to represent his intended direction to walk. He thought out to Nip Nip. nothing. He knew that it was futile, for the world had other plans. He walked on, never slowing for anything. Day turned to night, and the stars came out. He wondered at their brilliance. There was something uniform about them. This made him question whether any of it could even be real. The way some stars perfectly positioned between each other, making perfect shapes, which he might mistake for the drawing.